offer as a piece of advice is just to do something with music every day, whether it's actually sitting down and making beats, whether it's finding samples or just listening to music. Period. Like most of the time, I'm not even making beats like that. I'm more or less just listening. Listening to different producers.
One, two, yeah. Come on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, sir, you are tuned in. This is for the SB1200, ASR 10s and NPC heroes. This is for the crate digging, loop getting, sound manipulators, the Fruity Loop reasoning machine innovators that pump the bass and frequently freak the kick in a stand till it slaps in your speakers. The sound providers that make sure the song is tight. Shout out to the producers, beats grinding live. Shout out to the producers, beats grinding live.
Welcome to the Beats Grinding Life podcast with your host Siren, a weekly interview podcast with inspiring music producers, where every week you will learn from a different music producer how to potentially take your music career to the next level.
Today's episode of Beats Grinding Life is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audio download and 30-day free trial at beatsbooks.com. Over 180,000 titles to choose from on your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Some recommended readings by past Beats Grinding Life guests like 48 Laws of Power, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, The Secret, Tools of Titans, and The Song Machine are all available with Audible. Once again, go to beatsbooks.com to get your free book. What's up, Beat Grinders? This is Siren Beats. You are listening to Beats Grinding Life, a podcast dedicated to educating, connecting, and guiding producers of all levels all around the world. And with us this week, we have SoulTronik. SoulTronik is a hip-hop music producer representing Hempstead, New York. If that name sounds familiar to you, it might be because you heard him on here once before on episode 39. He is a music producer that has made a name for himself very quickly in the New York scene. He has a placement with legendary rapper OC and has won beat showcases in battles like the Remy Martin showcase and most recently True Masters hosted by Atlas the Plug. You may have also seen him play some of his beats on Sway in the Morning on SiriusXM. Yo, SoulTronik, how you doing, my guy?
I'm good, man. How's everything going?
Everything is good over here, man. Just very, very happy to have you up on here, man. You are a friend of the show, man, and so like I was telling you, but before we got started, I heard that you won that True Masters hosted by Atlas the Plug, man, and I just wanted to chat with you about it, man. I was happy for your success.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that was a dope night.
Nice, man. Nice. That's what's up. Who are some of the other producers that you were battling against?
Well, they had this one group came from Tennessee named 1908 Productions.
Okay.
They were pretty dope. Crosses. He's a producer. He was really dope, actually.
Nice.
Josh Lamont.
Okay. Wow, man.
There was quite a few heavy hitters in there.
That's what's up. Well, I mean, you've been in so many different battles and showcases, and you've come victorious against some pretty heavy hitters, man, and some big names, man. I mean, that's got to make you feel good.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows that I belong up there with those type of producers, and you do this for so long, and you're able to go up against producers like that and actually win. Not even win, just to be able to compete against those producers, like solidifies you. It gives you that little bit of like that extra motivation that you're on the right path of doing something.
Yep, no doubt, man. Before we get started and before I ask you any more questions, man, I mean, I did read a brief intro of you, and I got the listeners to know a little bit about who you are, and they can find out a lot more on episode 39 if they want. You guys definitely go check that out. I'll have it in the show notes. But, why don't you just give us, man, like a little fun little fact that we may not know about you, that we would never know about you.
Oh, wow. Well, right now I'm learning how to coexist with the other half. Me and my fiance just moved into our own place.
Oh, congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you, man. And right now, a lot of people don't know, it's like, you know, ups and downs of like typical relationship stuff. But, you know, it's new for me.
Right.
And, you know, I'm just trying to balance everything, you know, balance music, balance my 9 to 5, balance my relationship, balance her dreams and goals, you know, balancing everything out and trying to keep everything afloat, you know. So right now, that's where my focus is really.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't really know about it. You know, I kind of keep that side of myself private. So, yeah,
Right.
I don't think people know about that.
Okay. Well, yeah, man. I mean, it is very, very tough. You know, I mean, it seems easier than what it is, you know, but I mean, myself, I'm going through it, and, you know, I'm married already, so with kids. And so I'm finding that out, you know, yeah, it's tough to manage all of that, but it is possible. You know, I've seen other people do it. And so, you know, I guess just got to keep at it. Once you got to master finding that balance. So, well,
and then that's what it is. And that's what I'm realizing right now too, is that it's all finding the balance, you know?
Yep, no doubt, man. Well, good luck to you on that, man. It's gonna be hard trying to figure it out, but you know, it is possible. And once you get it down, man, hopefully things will go smooth sailing from there. So that's
appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
no. And happy belated Father's Day to you, man.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was definitely a great day, man. So thank you. I appreciate that. So all right, man. Well, how'd you find out about the True Master show? I mean, you competed in the 4th, right? Or was that the 3rd?
Well, this one I think was the Nick Paps beat battle. So okay. It's like Nick Paps is Meek Mill's producer. He's the producer signed the Dream Chasers. Mm-hmm. And this was the second one that he actually put together.
Dope.
So, you know, I saw Atlas post up, an ad for it on his Instagram, and was telling producers to sign up if they thought they were good enough. You know, I saw who participated in the first one. Mm-hmm. You know, the first one, Jay Jules ended up winning it.
Nice.
It's like, you know, I think I stack up pretty well against, you know, whoever.
Right.
It's not, you know, to be arrogant or anything. I just feel very confident in myself.
Right, yeah.
But so I decided to sign up, and, you know, he brought me in, and the rest is history from there.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Well, I mean, you know, you don't sound cocky or anything. You do sound very confident in your skills, and, you know, it took you a while to get there. Last time we spoke, you know, you said that one of your setbacks was you felt like you weren't growing as fast as you wanted to, and you said when you did enter showcases, you weren't getting the response that you wanted. You know, obviously that's not the case anymore. But what kind of setbacks are you facing today? What setbacks have you had recently that you've been able to bounce back from?
Well, you know, everything is just up and downs of the music industry, really. Like, now that you get to a point where artists are looking for your music, and, you know, you're dealing with labels and stuff. Mm-hmm. You're just learning the ins and outs of the music industry, and, you know, when you think a situation is a foregone conclusion, and then at the drop of a dime, it kind of just implodes.
Right.
You know, I had a situation where it was an artist that was signed to a label, and he's currently putting together his album to come out later this year. Mm-hmm. And I sent him a beat. He freestyled to it, loved it. He wanted it on his album. Mm-hmm. Everything was good. I got the declaration from the label. waiting for the artist producer agreement, and things fell through and they ended up not using it. It hurt because to be honest with you, that's kind of like one of my first situations where it was like a actual album that was coming out and all that, and going through a label. But you learn, and it's nothing against the artist or the label or anything. It just didn't pan out. I'm not holding any sour grapes or anything about that. It does hurt though when you think everything is going through and it ended up falling through at the last minute. But it taught me that nothing is 100% until it's done.
Right, yeah. Until you're actually listening to it, until something's released.
Exactly.
Right.
So
yeah.
That's basically what I learned about it, and it's just to take everything in stride. And at the same time, it shows me that I am doing something correct to where I got to that point.
Right. Yep.
So, I'm taking it all in stride.
For sure, man. For sure. And everything happens for a reason too. In hindsight, maybe a couple years from now, maybe you and that artist will be laughing about the situation, and because you guys have maybe built something for later on, or who knows what could happen, but I just feel like everything happens for a reason, and it may work out for the best for you. All right, man. Well, I wanted to, so what happened with the OC situation? I mean, you released the lead single off of that. What kind of traction did you get after that release?
Well, a lot of people hit me up with saying that was dope. I actually got mentions from I sampled Raphael Sadiq on the track. He actually mentioned me.
That's dope.
And shouted me out for doing a good job. And OC is that's the OG right there. So anything that he's willing to put his name on and put his backing behind is a blessing. And whole DITC, they embrace me and they think my stuff is dope. So I have a good relationship with them.
That's
and
dope.
Yeah, and just everything. Everyone was shouting it out and was really feeling it. Up to this day, I still get mentions on Twitter about the track. So, it's the test of time right now.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Last time you were on here, you said that the Remy Martin showcase was your greatest achievement. Do you still feel that way now? No, I think my greatest achievement now is being on Sway in the Morning. Yeah.
Just because, Sway is a legendary figure in hip hop, and there's a lot of artists that went through there, a lot of artists that caught their break being on there. And just being able to play stuff in front of Sway is and him making the mean face to the beat. That was crazy.
I bet. How many joints did you play for him?
I played about 4. And every single one that I played, he just looked at me like, "What's wrong with you?"
That's dope, man. That's dope. That is awesome right there. How did that come about?
So I actually did there was a beat battle that I did in upstate New York. First time I did it, I won. And then I went to kind of defend the title. This go around. I ended up losing in the finals the second time. The second time, Sway was there.
Oh, nice.
And he told me he was like, "Yo, you're dope. We definitely got to bring you on the show." So his manager took down my email, my information and stuff, and I actually didn't hear from him for a few months. I found an email and I was like, let me just email them and see, maybe they still look at this email, maybe they don't, who knows, but I checked it, I sent the email, and the next day they were like, yeah, sure, come on Friday.
Damn, that's sick right there. Wow, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that just goes to show, the power of showcases. I mean, you didn't even win that showcase, but still, I mean, your greatest achievement thus far in your career came from not winning a showcase. You know, what you got out of that was being on Sway in the Morning, man. That's dope. Are there any other? I mean, so I know that you network a lot at these showcases. You're big in the showcase scene, but what other ways do you use to network with other producers and other artists?
Just social media. Actually, to be honest, with the Sway in the Morning show, when they put up the sneak preview or the teaser on Instagram, Kid Vicious commented on it and said, "Yo, send me some heat." So, you know, I went on his Instagram, got his email, and we've been talking ever since.
That's dope right there, man. That's dope. Damn. Well, good luck with that, man. I hope we hear some collabs between you and Kid Vicious, man.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, you know, I don't wanna jinx anything, but right. I've heard of something, so we'll see what happens.
Nice, man. All right, man. Well, you know, I mean, just we all know that making songs for albums or for the radio is completely different than making beats for showcases and battles, man. How do you prepare for a battle or for a showcase? And what do you recommend for other producers listening now, some of the beat grinders? What do you recommend that they do when they're preparing for a showcase or a battle?
Well, first and foremost, I always say just make what you feel. And if make what you feel at the time. Don't go into something saying I have to make it for a beat battle or I have to make it for a showcase. But when it comes to like choosing your beats for like a beat battle or showcase, like for a showcase could be more radio sounding. So like song structure and intro, verse, hook. If you have an artist that's already doing a hook to it, play that. Like that's fine. But like a beat battle, you gotta come with something hard. Like you gotta come with something that's gonna make people squint their face and make them turn their head,
right?
Angry, you know, like just something that's like undeniable, you know. And always don't play thinking. A lot of people like they play. I've seen a couple producers do this, like to their downfall, they play a beat in the first round and they kind of hold back thinking like, okay, if I get to the second or third round, I'll play this then.
Right.
But always play your heat first. Like if you're going up against somebody and you know that you got to bring it, like of course always bring it. But like even if like in the first round, always play your heat first, because even let's say if you get to the finals and what you have isn't up to par, they'll still remember you because you made it to the finals, or you'll turn heads right off the bat because you're playing something so like crazy from jump. Like you're already getting the attention of the audience, of the judges, of other producers, to let them know, like, you know, I'm here, you know?
Yeah, that's great advice right there, man. I haven't heard that perspective. You know, I mean, usually people, I mean, yeah, you wanna make it to the finals, so a lot of people, but people want to save their best for the finals. So, but like you said, you just gotta get there, and if you get there, people will remember you, will remember your name. So I love that, man. Thank you for sharing that. That's dope advice right there. I know, like, you know, when there was a showcase I was in, and I was just like, man, I'm just playing my best tracks. I didn't realize that, you know, some of my best tracks weren't like, you know, I kind of got I won't say a slow vibe or anything, but, you know, they just weren't like suited for like a club atmosphere. And I know that you're kind of like, you know, you incorporate a lot of boom bap feel into your music. Is that, well, I was going to ask you, is that a struggle, you know, nowadays with a lot of trap music? But apparently it's not, because you're winning a lot of these showcases. How are you able to beat a lot of these trap a lot of these trap producers with the sound that you have?
I think I get what you're saying, but you know what it is? I think it's because all these people are doing trap music.
Right. So you stand out a little bit.
Stand out, yeah, and especially when it's hard drums and you know the right sample or the right feel, the right vibe, and everything's knocking.
Mm-hmm.
It'll stand out regardless. But especially if you have 10 producers or 8 producers in a beat battle and 7 of them are all making trap music, it sounds repetitive.
Right. You can't even remember whose beat. You know, like it all blends in with each other.
Yeah, it's like it all sounds the same. So you're kind of like the breath of fresh air because you're different. You know.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So definitely stand out from that point.
I love that, man. I love that. Okay, well, you've won a lot of these battles. You've won a lot of these showcases. Do you think you're done? What's in the future for you? Do you think battle and showcases you're gonna still continue with it, or what's up with that?
I mean, yeah, I want to try to like transition to like where I could deal with more artists on like a personal level and just start getting placements more. But you know, there's nothing wrong with doing a beat battle here and there. Maybe not as much as I used to where I'm jumping at every single one.
Right.
But definitely to lack of a better term, keep my blade sharp. Sharpening the blade. Go and check out, you know, what's going on that scene, because there could be somebody that's ridiculous and they might be doing something that's different from me or similar to me in a different way.
Right.
And if I hear that might motivate me to do something more, to kind of like switch up what I'm doing.
Nice. For sure, man.
Try to keep your hand in like every single aspect of the industry.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Well, Beat Grinders, it sounds like you guys definitely got some competition. SoulTronik is not retiring from the beat battle scene just yet, so you guys got to bring your best. So, all right, man. Well, you know, here on Beats Grinding Life, we're always striving for greatness, and by doing that, you need to have a daily routine or some rituals that you do daily to get yourself to greatness. And I want to know, do you have any recommendations or is there anything that you suggest that a producer do on the daily to take their game to the next level?
The number one thing that I could offer as a piece of advice is just to do something with music every day.
Nice.
Whether it's actually sitting down and making beats, whether it's finding samples or just listening to music, period. Mm-hmm. Like most of the time, I'm not even making beats like that. I'm more or less just listening. Right. You know, listening to different producers. If I'm like, okay, I want to focus on real boom bap type tracks, and I'm gonna listen to Jay Dilla all day, or I'm gonna listen to Pete Rock all day, or you know what, I want to try to get my super crazy, stupid, retarded music up. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna listen to a Just Blaze or a Timbaland and just listen. Nice. You know, just hitting it, vibing it, and just get into that zone. So even if I'm not making beats that day, I'm still doing something as far as music is concerned.
Right. Nice. I love it, man. Well, thank you for that advice, man. Beat Grinders, you guys hear that? Just something with music every single day. So.
And another thing, it's so like copycat. You know, if you hear a sample on the radio that you're like, damn, how did he flip that, or how did he chop that? Mm-hmm. Go and recreate it.
Nice.
That's the easiest way to learn how they did something, is to recreate it, and then you can apply that into whatever else you do. It's not necessarily to say that you're gonna chop that beat now because you made it. Mm-hmm. It's just as like a learning tool. So like now you know that person's chopping style, or maybe it's something different to what you do, and now you can incorporate it into what you do, so you have another way of doing something.
Right, nice. I love that. You know, I mean, that's ultimately that's what producers and artists do. You know, get influenced by other people, take what they're doing, take what a whole bunch of your people you idolize are doing, and then you blend it up and you make it your own, you turn it into your own, you know, and that's kind of how you get your own style. And so there's nothing wrong with copying. I think Jay-Z said it, and you know, the best artists steal, but that doesn't mean that you, like you said, that you have to chop it or put it out. It could just be a throwaway beat. But as long as you're learning how producers are doing things and then incorporate it to your own style, that's what we're supposed to do. So
yeah, I mean, you know, Kobe said it every year. He said he would look at somebody and look and see how they did that, and go right to the gym during the off season and practice it. And now he's got a new move for the next season.
Nice. Yep. I think, you know, he was very famous for stealing some of, I mean, of course, Jordan. We all know Jordan, but then I was surprised to hear, you know, that he took some of Hakeem's skills, you know, and turned those into his own. So, well, you know, I mean, outside of music, I know something that you were doing on the daily was you were taking health into your own hands, you know, and I've been able to see that you lost a lot of weight, and I think that you were doing that by doing keto, right?
Yeah.
Man, can you just, because, you know, I mean, health is a lot more important than music, you know. Without being healthy, it's hard to even, you know, concentrate on something else, you know, when you're not feeling good, you know. So if you can just talk about your journey, man, and on being healthy and how it's impacted you and your music career, man, that would be that'd be dope.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it got real for me when I've always been like into sports. So I would play basketball, football a lot. But not gonna lie, after I got engaged and moved in, you know, you start feeling comfortable with the person you're with. And, you know, you kind of let yourself go a little bit. And I let myself go a lot.
Right.
So, I actually was playing basketball one night and I dislocated my pinky.
Ooh.
I popped it back in, but, you know, I went to the doctor the next day just to check it, make sure everything was all right. And told me sit on the scale. I get on the scale and I'm 370 pounds. I was like, I saw the number and I couldn't believe it. And I was like, no, that's not, nope. So like, it was like a switch. Like I came home as soon as I left the doctor, I came home. I made myself pancake and eggs as like a last meal. I had that, and from as soon as I finished that last bite, I was in full workout health mode.
Nice.
I started using the keto diet, which is very high protein, low carb,
and high fat as well, right?
High fat, but good fat, like avocado, and you know, did that, started going to the gym, and instead of just playing basketball at the gym, like I actually going to work out,
nice.
with weights. Yeah, I'm like, when I first started bench pressing, I could barely lift 135, which is like just 145 on each side.
Right.
And now I'm almost at 315 on the bench. So,
congratulations, man.
Appreciate that.
Damn.
Yeah, it's just, you know, but it's a process, and it's something that you can't take lightly, because, you know, how are you going to make music if you're not here to do it?
Right. Exactly.
You know, so you definitely have to take your health into, and that's not even just for music, that's just for all things. Like, how are you going to do anything? How are you going to run around with your kids? How are you going to, you know, go out with your significant other? You know, how are you going to go to work if you're not healthy enough to do so?
Right. Yeah.
So I took proactive approach, and I go to the gym maybe like 5 times a week. And eating better, you know, it's not like full blown 100% every day like a robot. You know, you have your cheat days, you have like your cheat weekends sometimes. But you know, when you but when you make it a priority, it's definitely beneficial to everything that you do.
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
Yeah, so like what I do is I'm strict Monday through Friday. Like strict. I keep myself so like very strict when it comes to eating, when it comes to making sure I'm at the gym, and on the weekend, I let myself go a little bit. But once Monday comes, or even earlier, once Sunday night comes, like it's back in the strict mode.
Nice. I'm loving that, man. Well, congratulations to you, man. And I mean, I'm pretty much the same way, Monday through Friday. I'm on my thing. I want to be on Saturdays. I can't promise it, but if I'm not on Saturdays, I don't beat myself up, But Sunday, it's whatever I want, and then back on it Monday. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We're back on it. So I really do appreciate you sharing your story, man, because in music, and especially just with music production, man, I mean, we're all used to just sitting at a chair in front of a computer for however long, 5-8 hours. And, while we're sitting there, maybe we're not eating, or maybe we're drinking Red Bull to give us energy, and then eating takeout. And you keep doing that day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, your health is going to turn into crap. And we all know health is wealth. When you're healthy, when your body feels better, you do better. So, I'm glad that you made that change, man. And the best thing for you, it sounded like, was a dislocated finger. That was the best thing that could have ever happened to you, because you got a chance to see how much you weighed, and you were able to make that switch.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not the only one either. This is my boy Buckmouth. His changes.
You're right.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, damn, he looks like a fitness model.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I couldn't believe it, because I mean, I've seen him on Instagram before, so I went on his live like years ago, and then I went on recently. I was like, maybe this is a different Buckmouth. But yeah, he's obviously made that change, so that's dope, man.
Shouts to him, because he looks like a completely different person.
He does. You're right. Well, man, well, thank you for sharing. I know personally, I'm having a hard time balancing it all, and so if you're able to do it, man, kudos to you. Going to the gym, working, having a significant other, and music on top of that. It's, like you mentioned earlier, the balance, trying to balance everything is tough, man. And so kudos to you for handling it all.
Appreciate that. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, man. Well, what producers are inspiring you today? Usually we ask what producers have inspired you while you were coming up, while you were learning how to produce. And Beat Grinders, if you guys want to hear what producers did inspire SoulTronik, you can definitely go back and listen to episode 39. But what producers are inspiring you today?
The same ones that inspired me when I was learning.
Nice.
Timbaland, Just, Static Selector. I've been listening back to a bunch of Kids in the Hall and Double O, the stuff he was doing. It's crazy. But yeah, Nick Paps, there's a bunch of new producers that are out now that are doing their thing.
Nice. Okay, that's what's up, man. So I mean, it's not just all the same producers before, but there are some new ones that you mentioned as well. So that's what's up. And then, do you have a relationship with Nick Paps at all?
I've been talking to him. Just sending some samples over to him, and
nice.
Trying to get a situation out where we can kind of come together and have like a real sit down conversation and try to get to know each other a little better.
All right, man. Well, last time we spoke, you said that Transient Master was your not so secret weapon, because you said that you're able to get your drums to knock, the way that you want them to. Is that still a secret weapon of yours? And if not, if you have a new one that you don't mind sharing, can you please share it with us?
No, yeah, that's for the most part. It's still the same. What I do now is I'm more or less my mix is more or less just leveling everything, making sure like how it's EQ'd is good. I try not to layer as much. So I'm not stacking drums. I'm not stacking like kicks or snares or anything like that. I'm more or less just find like the one and just try to use it to like its full potential, rather than layering.
Okay. And you're and that's working out better for you than stacking? Yeah,
it actually is. I remember I was at a beat camp and Elmon was talking, and he was saying that you can do either or. Like, he's not saying not to or don't do one or the other, but he just found it easier to use one and kind of use it to its fullest potential. So I kind of like adopted that mindset, and it actually has worked out a lot better for me.
Nice. Okay, well, that's what's up. Well, yeah, Beat Grinders, if you guys are not up on Transient Master, I think by Native Instruments, you guys definitely go check that out. I'll try to have a link for it in the show notes. So
yeah, that's the go-to.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it definitely works for me as well, man. Is there any new hardware or software that you've gotten recently? I know that before you listed a whole bunch of equipment that you had. Is there anything that you've welcomed into the family?
Yeah, actually, my brother just made a new computer for me.
Dope, nice.
So that's really what I have right now. It's got, he kind of hooked it up too.
Nice.
He's looking to tech stuff, so I was just like, I need a desktop for at home. He was like, well, how do you want it to? I was like, well, you tell me what I need, and I'll hook it up. And he was like, well, if you're gonna make it, you need this, you need that, you need this. And I was like, all right, just put it together for me. And he did it.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So, man, I'm sure you're running. I'm sure that computer is running probably better than any other computer that you've ever had, huh?
Oh, nah, this is definitely the best computer I've ever had.
That's dope, man. That's
My
dope.
brother definitely hooked it up for me.
That's dope, man. Yeah, I remember I told you I'm in the process of switching computers, so I'm actually building my own computer with no experience, so it's taking me some time to get it done with, like I said, with balancing everything else. So trying to learn how to build a computer, but I'm just hopeful that, when it's all said and done, man, it's going to be running at full speed. That's what's up, man. Well, that's good for you, man. Adding a new computer to the mix. You're still running Fruity Loops?
Yes, sir.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Okay.
My brother's been trying to get me on. My brother's been trying to get me to use Ableton. I'm starting to learn a little bit, but he was like, for what I do, it's like, it's ideal. So I'm starting to learn that a little bit. And Logic I have an okay understanding of, just because what everybody uses. So I want to be able to, well versed in all the DAWs.
Yeah. Now you have last time we spoke, you said you have Boot Camp on your computer. Do you have Boot Camp on this one?
Well, the desktop that I have is Windows, so I don't really necessarily need it. But for the Mac, I still have Boot Camp.
I got you.
I have. Well, actually, they just made FL Studio for Mac. Like, you could download a Mac version for it.
Nice.
So I have both. I have FL on the Mac side of my computer and the Windows side.
Dope, man.
So,
yeah, I was kind of thinking for when you said you mentioned Logic.
Yeah, I have that on there as well. That's so I got Logic and FL on the Mac side, and then on the Windows side I have FL.
Dope, man. Dope. That's what's up, man. I mean, Ableton gang. They're like zombies, man. I mean, they swear by it, and then they try to recruit everybody else. They try to get everybody else on Ableton. But I mean, from what I hear, everyone that uses it loves it. I've never heard anyone say, "Yeah, I've used Ableton, but it's not for me," or "I don't like it," but everyone loves it. And I'm thinking about when I get this new computer set up. I'm thinking about switching DAWs, and I'm using Logic right now, but I'm thinking about going with Ableton. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. Everybody that's told me about it is like they have nothing but good things to say about it. When they tell me with you being a sampler, like, yeah, this is definitely the way to go for you, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll check it out. And so far, I have no bad reviews of it.
Yeah, man. Well, let me know what you think, man, if you get it.
Will do, definitely.
All right, man. Is there an internet resource that you use? And when I say internet resource, I mean like a mobile app or a website that you use that you think every producer could benefit from.
Yeah, whosampled.com.
Nice.
I know a couple producers might be like, oh, I don't want to give my samples away. But it's good to hear the original source and hear how someone did something. Not necessarily that you're gonna bite and like, oh, now I have the sample, I'm gonna do it better than they did. Like, nah, it's good. It's good to hear the original and then hear what they did to make it sound the way they made it sound.
Right. Exactly, man. And even if I'm not gonna try to recreate something, I'm just so much of a music nerd that whenever I hear a sample, I'm always thinking, where'd they get that from? And, I just want to know. So we used to play this game called Beat Jeopardy back in the day, and you play a song and you just try to figure out the sample. So.
Yeah. When I first met Music Maestro. He sat me down for like an hour and was just playing samples.
Nice.
Who's this sample? What beat is this? What beat is this?
That's dope. It's fun stuff, man. I love doing it. So, all right, man. Well, what album in the past year do you think every producer should be listening to right now? What album has influenced you?
Championships.
Nice.
Mills Championships. Bun B and Static Selector.
I have not heard that yet. I'm so slipping.
That's dope.
I'm so slipping.
Really cool.
I saw them kind of make it. They had the whole thing live, the making of the album live.
Yeah,
I saw a little bit of that.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it. I was so mad about it. I heard it. I was like, okay. But I say Meek Mills not only because it's a dope album, but just because as far as producing goes, it's a little bit of everything.
Right.
You have sampling, you have trap, you have boom bap. There's a little bit of something for everybody. So you can like a well-rounded album as far as producing goes, and then to add to the fact that there's Rick Ross, Jay-Z, Cardi, there's a whole bunch of rapper and Meek Mill himself, a whole bunch of dope songs and dope beats, so you can't go wrong with that.
Dope. Well, I will provide a link on the show notes, Beat Grinders. If you guys haven't heard either one of those albums, I'll provide a link so you can check them out. So thank you for that, man. All right, man. Well, when it's all said and done and when this music thing is over with, I know you're probably going to be making music for the rest of your life, but, it's got to come to an end at some point. What do you want your legacy to be, and what is legacy to you?
I just want my legacy to be that he made the best of his situation, I don't necessarily have to be like the most recognizable producer in the world. I don't even have to be like a top 10 or top 20 or top 30 in anybody's opinion.
Right.
But what I do want that people say like, yo, he makes dope stuff. And, I want to be able to say that I quit my job and I turned music into a career that I love, and I provided for my family with music, and that, to be honest with you, that's my legacy, to be able to show my future children that, hey, you can have a dream, have a passion, and turn that passion into a career and something that's of value, something that's positive to the world, and you stay true to yourself and you keep grinding it out, and it'll happen.
Nice, man. Nice. Well, I love that, man. I do. You are living your legacy. You still have a 9-to-5 now, but I mean, by the moves that you're making, man, I mean, it does seem like you will be able to live off of this music thing. I mean, you've already got a placement with the legendary MC. You've won all kind of showcases. Your name is getting out there, and so, man, I think you're setting yourself up for greatness, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's really all I want, to be honest. I don't need, top 5 debate. I just want people to see that, when they hear the name, when they hear produced by SoulTronik, they know they're gonna get a good beat, a good song, and just to be able to help set my family up, because my future wife has dreams and ambitions as well, and I just want to be able to be this foundation for her to be able to do what she needs to do as well.
Nice. Dope, man. That's awesome, man. Well, thank you for doing everything that you're doing. It's inspiring people like myself, and I'm sure it's inspiring others as well around the world, man. So thank you, man, and definitely keep at it, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, you did give us some advice on the last episode, and but I want to know if you talked to a lot of people in all these different showcases. You've rubbed shoulders with some big producers, with some big artists, and so I want to know, what's the greatest piece of advice that you've received from some of these people, and what advice would you have for the beat grinders listening today?
The greatest piece of advice that I've received from anybody is, for the most part, every big name producer that I've met said the same thing in a different way.
Right.
Like Ill Minds told it to me, Buddha and Grants told it to me, Just Blades had told it to me. Like all these Pete Rock, all these guys, they just said keep going, like keep pushing, keep grinding, don't stop. The second you feel like you're not doing something, keep going, because that's the moment that something happens. Like Illmind said it best, if you ask 100 producers how they got on, you'll get 100 different answers. Right. Because there's no way, there's no blueprint, It's all staying true to yourself, staying true to your craft, and believing that you can get there. And that's my piece of advice for any other producer, because I'm just like you. I'm still trying to push. I'm still trying to grind. I'm still trying to get to where I want to be at. But you got to have the mindset that you could get there first before you even attempt to try to go,
Right.
Like you have to think you can walk before you can actually walk. Even if you have the talent, even if you have the capability to do so, if you don't think it, you can't do it. So you gotta think that you can do it first before you can even attempt to do it. So that's my advice. Keep believing.
That's powerful right there, man. Are you familiar with Lone Star?
No.
He's a producer out of Texas, and I'm only bringing this up because I just saw this earlier today, where he said that after he saw what's that movie, that NWA movie called I can't remember, but he saw the NWA movie and he said to himself, he put it out there, I'm going to be an Aftermath producer. Well, he didn't become an Aftermath producer, but he did get on the Eminem album that went 3 times, 4 times platinum. And he was just saying, you know, you got to put it out there. You got to have that faith. You got to have faith, and you got to put work behind it. And it just kind of reminded me what you said. Before you can walk, you got to see yourself walking. And you got to, you know, imagine it, and you just got to do it, man. So thank you for that advice, man. That was very, very powerful. And also something else that you said, you know, you asked 100 producers how they got on. You're going to hear 100 different stories. And so that just made me think, no matter what, you can't get discouraged. If somebody said they got on a certain way, don't get discouraged because it's not going that way for you. Your path can be completely different. You just have to trust the process. So thank you for that, man. That's awesome advice. And I appreciate the advice, and I appreciate you for coming on the show, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
No doubt, man. Well, thank you for coming on again. You know, you're a double OG to Beats Grinding Life, and you're definitely a friend of the show, man. And so I want to know, man, if there's any other words that you have for the listeners that you want to let them know, if there's anything that they need to be looking out for from you, or if there's anything that they need to be listening to right now that you've already released. Let them know, and also how to contact you if you want to be contacted.
Well, yeah, you could contact me on IG at I am SoulTronik with a K at the end. Hit me up there, Twitter, like everything is I am SoulTronik, so you could hit me up on anything, any form of social media, or if you go on there, I'm actually starting like a whole new campaign, Who Stole the Soul?
Nice.
Which is like, you know, it's right now it's I have a t-shirt that you can buy. If you click the link on my IG bio, you can get it. Okay. But Who Stole the Soul really is like a campaign for like a lifestyle to bring back like the real, like soulful, the essence of what music is, or the essence of what the culture is. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like it's oversaturated, kind of in all forms of genre. You know, hip hop is the biggest genre of music right now. It's the biggest genre in culture, period. Right. Which is a thing. It's a great thing, considering that, you know, it was something that was supposed to be like a blip in the music industry. Right. 5 years and be gone. And now it's the number one thing in all. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, you know, there's other cultures that kind of water it down now. Right. So I feel like what I want to do is kind of bring it back to what the meat and potatoes of it is. You know, mm-hmm. And right now with Who Stole the Soul, the identity, the main thing about it is figuring out what got it to where it is. You know, like what got music to where it is right now. Mm-hmm. And who's stealing the culture? You know, like basically, like who stole it? Who stole the soul out of it?
Right. Well, I mean, you know, they say, you know, if you want to change, you got to be the change. And I feel like you are definitely you're changing the culture for better. You know, I mean, and that's no offense to anybody else and what anyone is doing. But, you know, I mean, like you said, you have a lot of soul in your music. You go to these beat battles, and, you know, the music that you're doing is able to stand with all the others that are out there, if not beat all the trap music and everything else that's playing. So, you know, you're definitely bringing the soul back in a major way. So that's dope, man. That's dope.
Thank you for that, man. For real.
thank you, man. You're the one doing it. So thank you, man. Thank you. Beat grinders, you guys definitely go and cop one of those shirts. Who Stole the Soul? Support our guy SoulTronik. Go hit him up on IG. And so, SoulTronik, thank you for coming on the show. Beat grinders, thank you guys for listening to another episode of Beats Grinding Life. If you guys found this show of any value, if you got anything out of it, which I'm pretty sure that you did, because SoulTronik just gave us some dope advice, definitely hit him up on Instagram, hit him up on Twitter. He said all social media, and just let him know how this episode made you feel. Let him know what kind of value he brought to you guys. Take a snapshot of this podcast right now. You can just press a couple buttons and put it on your Insta stories and tag him, tag me, and let us know how you guys felt. And go ahead and rate and review this podcast in iTunes. It'll definitely spread the words. Beat Grinders, thank you guys for listening once again. And you know how it goes. You've been mentored by another dope producer, SoulTronik, for a second time. So you guys consider yourselves lucky for that. Keep making beats, stay on your grind, and live life. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Here at Beats Grinding Life, we want to thank you for listening to another episode. We want to know, what were your biggest takeaways from this interview? Just go to beatsgrindinglife.com and leave a comment on this episode's show notes page. Also, while you are there, go subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Just click the little button that says subscribe. If you could, please leave a rating and review. Rating and reviews are the best way to show your appreciation because it helps more people find out about the podcast. So until next week's episode, keep grinding.